Welcome back. Mr. Shomi, yes, we're discussing INEC and election 2019. You heard the news of what happened yesterday yes. about the CJ and the suspension. What's your take on that?
Yeah, first and foremost, I must say that, look, we have a problem in the country, which is corruption. President Buhari is trying to deal with that problem. It's his major campaign issue in 2015, and he's still trying to make that a campaign issue. But when you look at the issue of Onogen, it's not simply the allegations were about infractions, you know, that Onogen failed to declare the assets. Whether you did or you didn't is not the issue. The issue is the rule of law, is the procedure. Who is supposed to deal with the case? I think, in my view, is the NJC that is supposed to deal with the case. I'm so worried that if we are not careful, just exactly like what happened when DSS were used to raid judges' houses and arraign them in court without going through the NJC, all the judges were freed completely, you know, eventually by the courts. And then we may end up, you know, having the same situation, you know, not being able to achieve the goal of the federal government, which is to tackle corruption because of this technical problem. The Constitution is very clear. If you read Section 292, it's very, very clear. The office of the CJN is created by Section 6 of the Constitution, and then how to remove the CJN is defined by Section 292 in the Constitution. And that has been reaffirmed, you know, and the procedure to go about it has been reaffirmed, you know, in the Inglary case at the Court of Appeal. It remains a law today until it's changed by a superior court, which is the Supreme Court. That has not happened. So I think, I don't think it's a good idea, you know, to remove the CJN through an ex parte motion, you know, filed at the CCT, particularly at a point in time when the Court of Appeal has restrained the CCT, you know, from proceeding. Where you have the issue of jurisdiction raised in any matter, the court must determine whether it has jurisdiction first before you can hear any ex parte motion. And the issue of jurisdiction has been, you know, the decision on it has been adjourned by the same judge himself. So therefore, he knew clearly that he could not have had the ex parte motion. That is the position of the law, you know, as it stands today. But unfortunately, we are in an uncharted waters, and it's really worrying. And I sincerely hope that this is an error which, along the line, will be corrected.
Yeah, Oscar, some people have likened this to the president removing the Senate president, because the CJN is the head of the third arm of government. What is your comment?
No, my comment first is to laugh. The reason I'm laughing is because, number one, what are we operating? We're operating under Decree 24. And Decree 24 is what we call our Nigerian Constitution of 1999, dashed to us by the military. Now we have another military man in power. He knows that, look, I can afford to ignore whatever it is that he's even feeling frustrated, and he expressed the frustration. I remember in one of his campaigns, the man says, oh, if it were those days, I would just lock the people up and, you know, they're already guilty until they prove themselves innocent. And he's feeling frustration. So you can understand, we must understand our president. He's doing so well to hold himself from being who
Did you see the release concerning, as in the press release concerning why the president took this route?
I have read it.
Okay.
It was the well-written rubbish.
That is a letter from the president. I think we should.
We should relied on the ex parte motion.
Yes, it relied on that, and then he said,
"Excuse me, I do not know where that came from, because the same CCT already adjourned. They already adjourned to listen to, yes, do they have jurisdiction or not? So how come in between the adjournment suddenly there is a letter to suspend? Does it make sense? Is it possible? It is not. The CCT has taken a date, and in between, before the next date of hearing, do we now listen to, do we have jurisdiction or not? Because that issue was the first thing that was raised. Automatically, there is a letter to say to the man to go. What are we talking about?
They cannot be writing letter.
Thank you.
No, you cannot even hear ex parte motion.
You can't.
Supreme Court has resolved this issue. You cannot even hear expert motions.
Mr. Guinea.
You must decide that.
Mr. Guinea, I know you're still there. We're still talking about the suspension of the Chief Justice of Nigeria. What exactly is your take on this matter? You are a lawyer.
You're putting him on the spot. Government official.
Mr. Guinea?
Well, thank you very much. You see, I'm an umpire at the moment, and I'm operating in an environment that must be defined by the rule of law. As a lawyer and a minister in the Temple of Justice, at all times, I fought for democracy at a time when the journey of Nigeria and the prospect of democracy was less certain. I was all out there. We almost lost our lives. So for me, I want to call on everybody to abide by the due process, the rule of law, because the rule of law is a graceful ornament to an ordered society. Indeed, it's the reason why it is referred to as the Corinthian capital of a polished society. It's my considered opinion that given the fact that the court has taken jurisdiction over the matter, the due process should be allowed to go on.
Thank you very much, Mr. Igini. Mr. Igini, resident electoral commissioner, Akwa Ibom State, who spoke to us via telephone, and we had in the studio two social commentators, Mr. Biodun Shoumi and Mr. Oscar Omundiwe. Thank you all very much for coming to share your insights with us this morning.
We're through?
Yes, we are through. Sunrise will be back in a moment, and we'll be looking in detail at the topic we veered into in this segment regarding the CJN.